Hello everyone, my name is Riski Ahmad Haidar. My student number is 121-911-233-091. I'm from Academic Discussion Class D, with the lecture is Mr. Haryawan Haji, and here I will present about the importance of social media in the pandemic. So today's discussion is about first is social media during the pandemic. And second is why social media. And then the third is the benefits. And the last is what people do with social media. Social media during the pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic has more or less had an impact on our life in the form of psychological pressure that can affect mental health. To prevent from depression occurring, one thing that can be done is to maintain social interaction with the close people, both friends and family. One way by utilizing technological assistance. Uh, Coronavirus infection is called COVID-19 and was first discovered in Wuhan, China at the end of December 2019. This virus spreading very quickly has spread to almost all countries, including Indonesia, just in a few just in a few months until now, victim countries to grow. It has led several countries to implement policies to impose lockdowns to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. In Indonesia itself, uh, pembatasan sosial berskala besar or PSBB policies was implemented to reduce the spread of this virus. Coronavirus transmission can also occur if people inhale droplets that come out of cough or breathe or sneezing from people who have the coronavirus. Therefore, we need to keep a distance of more than 1 meter from people who are sick. This virus can attack anyone, such as the elderly, adults, children, babies, including his mothers. Uh, everyone can everyone can be exposed to this virus. And the next is the benefit of the benefit to use social media. Why social media? Currently, the role of social media plays an important role in disseminating information conveyed to the public. However, this is inseparable from the use of this media, which can produce positive and negative things. Through social media, users users can communicate directly with everyone and find out what is happening or being discussed in various parts in, in various part of the world. As with the case of the coronavirus, which is currently occurring in various parts of the world, many parties do not want to be left behind in sharing information regarding the coronavirus that causes COVID-19 through social media channels. So the span of information and public discussion of social media is evident. by the word coronavirus or COVID-19, which often occupies the popular words on social media. So there is have positive and negative side. And the positive first is positive the positive side. First is learning new things. Positive engagement on social media can be started by initiating or participating in interesting discussions that are not related to COVID-19. Being curious that being curious about other people's response to a book, film, or activity is also a way to generate interest the, that can support a desire to learn new things, increase social bonds, and create better attitudes. The second is sharing experiments. Actually, with this pandemic situation, many people feel bored. Many people feel bored with staying at home. However, using social media in positive way can help reduce boredom by sharing this by sharing things that we can do well and appropriately or share our experience that can benefit many people. For example, positive by posting activities that we that we do at home during social distancing, and then sharing experience on how to survive and how to deal with being exposed to the coronavirus, and then sharing experience that were carried out before the pandemic, and etc. The third is expanding the network of friends. Not only making friends in the school environment, but social media can also expand children's friendship with anyone around the world. The important things that you need to pay attention to discontinue to provide supervisions so that they don't choose the the wrong friends who actually endanger endanger them to endanger them in social media. Fourth is promoting something useful. You can also use extra time on social media to do research and promote things that are useful and raise awareness on important issues that may have been neglected. Having positive engagement on social media can increase your self-confidence, and this is much more positive than just browsing in social media. Besides promoting something useful in social media can use to promote our business. Living in an living in an era of all technology as it is today certainly makes entrepreneurs use social media to promote our business. With social media, we will learn how to promote our products and service without spending a lot of money, and can reach customer from or until far away. It can make customer easy to know about our product. And the last is can easily access information about personal health. Social media also provides its own convenience for teenagers in accessing various information they need related to personal health. Currently, There are many who provide interesting information about adolescents, such as sexually transmitted infections, ways to deal with stress, signs that someone is expressing this, signs that someone is expressing this depressions, and other things that they can easily access. The next is negative side. First is decreased level of health. If you are too busy playing social media, then your eyes will always be glued to the smartphone screen, which will certainly use eye health. Besides being able to dimming the eyes, playing with cell phones late at night, it can also cause a feeling of towards laziness towards it, eat, and so on around us, because we have met any people who are enjoying themselves with their gadgets. If a person enjoys social media too much, then indifference will gradually emerge. So that someone is more enjoying his own existence with, even when meeting many people. The second is creating feeling of laziness. In this modern era, where many people want to live, live simply and practically, as in the case of food, many people who no longer want to be busy with kitchen matters, namely ordering food online that are immediately ready to eat, can help people to complete homework easily. The third is rise of crime or originating from social media. We may have often heard the news about criminal cases that originated on social media, including case in kidnapping, rape to murder, and so on. This, this is one of the most served negative impacts of social media. While on the on the on the other hand, social media has a positive impact on making friends. On other hand, on the other hand, there is an impact that we must pay to attention to. And the fourth is moral det- deterioration among members of society, especially among teenagers and students. Delinquency and evidence acts among adolescents are increasing the weakening of authority of traditional traditions that exist in society. Delinquency and defiant acts among adolescents and students are increasing in various forms, such as fight, looting, traffic violence to crime, and so on. The last is hoax. As we know that there are so many conveniences in providing information that causes a lot of information that can be spread, it doesn't deny that they are real. also be hoax information like was happened recently. To know the reason why they share hoax information that can harm many people, for for that we must be observant in choosing and sorting out the information we get in order to avoid hoaxes. And I think fake news a, is good news for the media. And then use social media wisely and avoid exposure to hoaxes on social media. First is do not immediately believe that news. First is do not immediately believe the news that comes from social media without first checking the truth. Second is don't share information that we receive without knowing the source or truth. Third is do not be easier provo- provoked by invitation that harm yourself and others that are disseminated through social media. Fourth is if you feel confused and anxious about the traffic of information on social media, you should limit yourself from social media. And the last is to get information related to COVID-19, look for accurate information by following official government accounts or other credible official bodies such as the World Health Organization or WHO website or etc. And the last discussion is about what people do with social media. So actually, I have made an online survey in I made in Google Form, which I have shared with several of my friends as respondents with worker and students backgrounds in a week and got 31 respondents. And then there are 8 questions for multiple choice, 2 checkbox, and 2 essay questions. So the first question I have is how often do you use social media during the COVID-19 pandemic? Actually, I gave 4 choices. Often, sometimes, really, and never. And then and the result is like from this in the screen. The respondents are very often use social media. The next question is how long do you use social media in one day? So the respondent use social media more than 2 hours and almost a long day long. As we can see in the screen, this is the average for from respondents do in social media? The third question is, when do you play or use social media? So from the their answer, they use social media at the afternoon and at the night after they finish or break their activities. The fourth question is, what media platforms are you using? Uh, Actually, the question number three and number four, this is a question with checkbox question. In this question, actually have many answers. There are Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, Pinterest, and Telegram. They're using platforms of social media, and the common platform they use are Instagram and YouTube. And the fifth question is, what did you do while using social media? Actually, this question have many answers, and I have summarized that they use for first is looking for information on the latest news developments. Second is used as a means of entertainment when they feel bored with online learning and work from home. The last is communicating with friends, family, relatives, even new people. The sixth question is, what is the role of social media during COVID-19 pandemic? Like the previous question, I've summarized there. So social social media has become very important the pandemic during this pandemic because social media is a link between one person and another in communicate in communication without the need to meet face to face and eliminate for boredom of routine activities that can only be done online. This is very useful because in this pandemic situation, it makes people feel bored. So that social media can be a medium of entertainment for everyone. Social media can also be the dissemination of information about the COVID-19 pandemic. This is very helpful in disseminating positive information about the current developments in handling COVID-19 because it is one way to find out how the current pandemic is progressing, and then the transmissions of the number of victims was distributed accurately, but there were still have hoax reports circulating. The seventh question is is social media useful as a media for COVID-19 information for you? In this question, actually, I give three answer true, three answer true. There are yes, maybe, and no. And as can we we see in the screen, it is 80.6%. Social media is very useful to COVID-19 information, but 19.44% not sure about that. And then And then the last question is, do you feel free? Do you feel fear of missing out or FOMO when not using social media? So in the, we can see on the screen that just 39.3% not have feel of FOMO. It means that respondents sometimes still feel FOMO even though even though they not they are not sure. However, it indicates that there is interest in FOMO, but not overly pushing her himself. So my online survey concludes that people always use social media for more than 2 hours and depends on their activities. They are commonly using social media in the afternoon and the night after finish their activity. There are many platforms of social media that they use, such as TikTok, YouTube, Telegram, Facebook, Instagram, and etc. However, the most common they use are YouTube and Instagram. They use social media to spend their time while a break of activity, feel bored after finish their work, etc. They use social media to research for more updated information, entertainment, shopping, communicating with friends, family, and etc. They thought social media is useful in this pandemic, even though some are still not sure. In other hands, some the respondents have feeling of FOMO. That means social media has an impact on their social life too. So this is the picture of my online survey, and yeah, I here in here I use in Indonesian language to facilitate respondent in answering questions. That's all about my presentation about discussing about the importance of social media in pandemic. Thank you.